Absolutely. First of all, I'd like to thank the organisers and say it's been a fantastic event, and it hasn't yet finished, but really very powerful, very moving, and especially for the first of its kind here in Hungary. It's been brilliant, and it's got a great deal of potential for the future. So I've taken part in it, and to a slight extent helped to sort of come up with the proposals in the first place and so on, for two reasons really. First of all, it's very simple, that killing babies, killing children, is wickedly immoral, and one has to say so, because if you don't say so, you're an accomplice to this thing, and it is killing babies. So it's grotesque, it really is. So it's a simple moral duty, whether one has it from a religious point of view or simply a moral point of view. Murdering children is wrong. End of. Then there's the other factor about what's a nation. A nation is made up of individuals, and the sum of the individuals is something more, because the nation is also the past and the future, as well as the individuals of now. But if a nation doesn't have individuals now, then there is no future and the past is forgotten. So a nation has to have a healthy number of children. Now, my own country, when you take out the immigrants, especially the third world ones, our reproduction rate is something like 1 child per woman. So it's very similar to Spain and Italy and the rest of it. And at that rate, the Western and Mediterranean nations, by the end of this century, will be 10% of the people they are now. They will be effectively extinguished, gone forever. Now, the situation in the Visegrad nations is much better. In Hungary it's better, but still, and the government doing a good job, at least trying to put this right. But still, the reproduction rate here is something like 1.7, with the result that if that continues by the end of the century, there'll be 2 million Hungarians left in the world, with about 3 million gypsies in Hungary. And however strong the fence you build now is, if behind a fence you have just a vacuum of empty land, empty houses, people will come, nature abhors a vacuum, they will be filled. And Western Europe has essentially been destroyed by mass immigration, contraception, the homosex agenda, and abortion. And Western Europe is finished. So European civilization, European values, the European peoples and Christendom can only survive if the Visegrad nations survive and prosper. And to survive and prosper, you have to have children, lots of children. The government gets it down there, they get it a little bit. So they're now paying 30,000 euros to a family to have children, at the same time as allowing abortion, when the Constitution says there shouldn't be abortion because it guarantees protection of all Hungarians from the moment of conception. So the government's doing some things right, but they've got this blind spot. And I think it probably is just a blind spot. I don't think there's any malice in this. They're trying to increase the number of Hungarians, but it hasn't occurred. So I think this event, and hopefully to build on it for next year and so on and run campaigns, I think it's really important to bring home to a political elite which very unusually in Europe is basically on the same side of the people, does basically have good values and is trying to do the right thing, to bring home to them that with one simple change of the law to apply Hungary's constitution, they can take a real step forward to making sure that the Hungarian nation, and it's a wonderful country, a wonderful culture, a wonderful people, isn't something at the end of this century which is disappearing, but something which is thriving and is a beacon and a bastion for the whole of Christian Europe.